What if I told you the universe can give you a clear answer in the next 24 hours? Not next week, not someday, today. And no, this isn't luck, chance, or superstition. The universe is always answering. The only reason you don't hear it is because no one ever showed you how to listen. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to ask the universe one single question, and watch the answer appear so undeniably, so perfectly timed, that you'll never doubt again that you are connected to something greater. Neville Goddard said, "Your imagination is God in action." That means every question you ask is answered instantly in the unseen. But here's the catch. If you ask the wrong way, you'll hear silence. Ask the right way, and the answer comes in hours, sometimes in minutes. So, let me ask you something. If you knew, without a doubt, that the universe would answer you today, what would you ask? Would it be about money? Love? Your purpose? Guidance for your next step? Hold that thought, because in a few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to frame it so the universe has no choice but to respond. But first, here's what you need to know. The universe is not withholding anything from you. The silence you think you're experiencing? It's not silence at all. It's misinterpretation. The answer is always there, but it shows up in ways most people were never taught to notice. Think about it. Have you ever had a random stranger say something to you that felt oddly specific? Have you noticed a song come on at the exact right moment? Have you seen numbers repeat, 1111, 222, 333, right after asking a question? Those aren't coincidences. That's the language of the universe. Neville explained it like this: the world is your mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself, which means every answer is already surrounding you, woven into your external world. But if you're pleading, begging, doubting, your mirror shows you exactly that: uncertainty, silence, confusion. This is why most people ask and never get what they're asking for. They don't ask from power. They ask from desperation. And desperation is not magnetic. Desperation says, "I don't have it yet. Please give it to me." But the universe responds to assumption, not pleading. It responds to certainty. Let me make this sharp. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. You don't beg the mirror to show your reflection. You don't plead, "Please show me my face." You simply assume it will reflect you, and instantly it does. That's how the universe works. The reflection is automatic once you know how to look. And here's why you need to stay locked in with me. By the end of this video, I'll give you a simple way to test this within the next 24 hours. A method so clear and practical that when you try it, the universe will answer, and you will know without a shadow of doubt that you are not alone in this. Now, let me share something powerful with you. A man once decided to test Neville's teaching. He said to himself, "If imagination creates reality, then the answer to my question already exists." That night, before bed, he asked the universe for clarity about his business. He didn't beg. He didn't worry. He simply assumed the answer was already given. The next morning, he received an email with the exact opportunity he had been waiting for. Signed at 8:08 a.m., the very moment he opened his laptop. Coincidence? Or was that the mirror of his assumption reflecting back instantly? The difference between waiting and receiving is just one shift: assumption. And once you understand it, you stop waiting. You stop doubting. You start recognizing that every single detail around you is alive with answers. Now here's what's wild. Even the fact that you're here right now watching this video is proof. You may not have noticed it, but this is already your first answer. You asked for guidance, clarity, proof, and somehow this appeared in your timeline. That's not chance. That's synchronicity. That's alignment. That's your reflection. So if you think, "The universe never answers me," I want you to flip that thought right now. Because the truth is, the universe never stops answering you. The real question is, are you tuned in to hear it? In just a moment, I'll explain the number one mistake that blocks people from hearing their answers. If you've ever begged the universe for a sign and got nothing, you'll understand why. And once you know this, you'll never miss another answer again. But for now, I want you to sit with this. The universe doesn't delay. The only delay is in your recognition. Every answer is immediate. Your job is to align, to assume, and to listen. And if you're ready, then what you're about to discover will change the way you experience life forever. So let's get real for a moment. If the universe is always answering, then why do most people feel ignored? Why do they ask for signs, for guidance, for clarity, and get nothing but silence? The mistake is simple, but it's universal. People are asking from the wrong state of mind. They're asking as if the answer is far away. They're asking as if the universe is some external force they have to chase down, beg, or convince. But the universe isn't out there. It's not some vending machine in the sky where you insert enough prayers or affirmations and hope it spits out a response. The universe is woven into your very being. The moment you ask, the answer is generated. Not out there, but within you. Neville Goddard put it in a way that shocks most people when they first hear it. You are God dreaming. He didn't mean your ego is God. He meant that your imagination, your inner self, is the direct channel to the infinite. Which means when you ask a question, you're not waiting for a distant entity to respond. You're waiting for yourself to recognize the reflection. Now here's the trap most people fall into. They ask with doubt. They say things like, "Please, universe, give me a sign. Please tell me if this is right. Please, I'm desperate. Just give me anything." Hidden in those words is the assumption that the answer isn't here yet, and the universe, being a perfect mirror, reflects that assumption back. More waiting, more silence. Think of it like a radio signal. The broadcast is always happening, but if you're tuned to static, you'll swear nothing is playing. That's why two people can ask the same question. One receives a sign within hours, the other waits weeks. The difference isn't the universe, the difference is their frequency. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people sabotage their own answers by overthinking. They ask, and then they instantly step into doubt. They check their phone every 2 minutes. They analyze every tiny thing. They wonder, was that a sign? No, maybe it wasn't. Did I do it right? Maybe not. And in doing so, they cancel out the very answer that was already forming. Neville taught, feeling is the secret. Not words, not begging, not hoping, feeling. When you ask with the feeling that the answer is already here, you shift into alignment. The answer becomes unavoidable. But when you ask with the feeling that the answer is missing, you block yourself. Let me give you an example. A man once asked the universe if he should move to another city. For weeks, he kept begging for signs. Universe, please show me if this is right. Please show me something clear. But nothing happened. One night, frustrated, he decided to stop asking. Instead, he sat quietly, imagined already living in that city, and felt at peace with it. The next morning, his phone rang. It was a job offer from that exact city. Do you see the difference? The begging produced silence. The assumption produced a response. Now, let's bring this back to you. If you've ever felt ignored by the universe, it wasn't that you were ignored. It was that you were asking from the wrong state. You were broadcasting static. And the universe, being a perfect mirror, reflected that static right back to you. So how do you fix this? You stop asking as if the answer is missing. Instead, you ask with assumption. You ask with certainty. You ask as if the answer is already alive within you, because it is. That's why I said at the beginning, the fact that you're here, right now, is already proof. You ask for guidance, and here it is. This video is part of your answer. The mirror is reflecting. The question is, will you recognize it? Now here's where it gets exciting. In the next Men, I'm going to show you exactly how to ask in a way that guarantees a response. I'll walk you through the mechanics step by step, so that when you try this today, you'll know with certainty that the answer is coming. But before we move there, let me leave you with this thought. The silence you think you hear is never silence. It's feedback. If the answer feels absent, that absence is itself an answer. It's showing you that you're asking from lack instead of assumption. Shift the state. Shift the frequency. And the silence breaks instantly. So don't fall into the trap of thinking you've been ignored. You haven't. You've been mirrored. And once you see that clearly, you'll never say again, "The universe doesn't talk to me." Because the truth is, it's talking right now. Up until now, you've seen why most people don't get answers. They plead. They beg. They whisper questions into the air, hoping someone, somewhere will respond. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't answer begging. It answers command. Neville Goddard said it clearly. You do not petition God. You command. And that's the shift that turns silence into instant response. Because when you beg, you're declaring lack. You're saying, "I don't have, please give it to me." But when you command, you're speaking as the source. You're declaring, "It is already mine." Reality must obey. And here's where it gets exciting. There are specific words charged with authority, that act like a trigger. Say them with certainty, and the universe bends immediately. In a moment, I'll reveal the most powerful of these words to you. But before we get there, I want you to understand why they work. The universe is a mirror. If you speak uncertainty, the mirror reflects uncertainty. If you speak weakness, the mirror reflects delay. But if you speak authority, if you declare as if creation itself is moving through your voice, the mirror has no choice but to obey. This is the difference between a whisper and a command. Imagine walking into a dark room. If you whisper, "Light, please turn on," nothing happens. But if you flip the switch, the room responds instantly. Commanding words are the switch. So, here's how you use them. Step 1. Clarity. Don't confuse the mirror. Choose one question. Write it down if you need to. Maybe it's about money, maybe love, maybe purpose. Whatever it is, make it sharp. Step 2. Stillness. Quiet your body. Quiet your mind. Get into a state of calm, almost like the moment right before sleep. Neville called this the state akin to sleep. Why? Because that's when the subconscious, the bridge to the infinite, is open. Step 3. The command. Once you're clear and still, speak the words that activate reality. And here it is. The phrase that flips the switch. Nothing can resist my command. Say it slowly. Say it with power. Say it as if you are speaking not just for yourself, but as the very voice of the universe. Nothing can resist my command. Do you feel the difference? That doesn't sound like begging. That doesn't sound like waiting. That sounds like law. It carries weight. It carries certainty. It carries finality. And here's why it works. The moment you speak those words, you align yourself with the truth that your inner world rules the outer. You step out of the role of a beggar and into the role of a creator. And the mirror, being perfect, reflects that immediately. Let me give you a real-world example. A woman once tested this. She had been searching for clarity about a relationship, begging for signs for months, and getting nothing. One night, after hearing Neville's teaching, she tried something different. She went still, asked her question, and then declared, "Nothing can resist my command." She felt a shift in her chest. Calm, final. The next morning, her phone buzzed with a message. It was from the very person she had been uncertain about, and the words in that text gave her the exact clarity she had been asking for. Less than 12 hours later, the answer had arrived. Coincidence? No. Command. And you can test this yourself. Tonight, take your question, get still, and instead of begging, declare it. Whisper the phrase, "Nothing can resist my command," then release it. Don't chase the answer. Don't overanalyze. Just watch. Because once the command is spoken, the mirror moves immediately. Now, I want you to lock this in. Say it with me right now, out loud if you can. Nothing can resist my command. And type it in the comments to declare it publicly. This isn't about algorithm tricks. This is about you anchoring the vibration into your reality. When you write it, when you declare it, you're stepping into your authority. This is the shift. This is the difference. Begging delays, commanding delivers. So let's recap the mechanics of commanding the universe. Clarity, choose one sharp question. Stillness, quiet your energy to open the channel. The command, speak with authority. Nothing can resist my command. Recognition, trust the first sign, the first nudge, the first synchronicity as your answer. Do this, and you won't have to wait weeks. You won't even have to wait days. Within 24 hours, the mirror responds. And in the next segment, I'll show you how the universe actually delivers that response. Because asking is powerful, but recognizing the answer is what seals the miracle. The universe is already speaking to you. Through numbers, through songs, through conversations you accidentally overhear. In segment 4, you'll learn how to decode all of it, so you never miss another sign again. But for now, remember this. Nothing can resist your command. So, now you know how to command the universe. You know the difference between begging and declaring. You know the words, nothing can resist my command. But here's the next step. Once you've spoken the command, how do you recognize the answer when it comes? Because the universe will respond. The question is, will you notice? Most people miss their answers because they expect something dramatic. They think the sky has to open, or a thunderbolt has to strike, or a voice has to boom from above. But the universe is subtle. It answers in whispers, not shouts. And when you know the channels it uses, you'll never miss another response again. Channel 1. Synchronicity. The universe loves patterns, numbers repeating on the clock, symbols appearing again and again. The same phrase showing up in different places. If you've ever seen 1111 or 222 right after asking a question, that's not random. That's alignment. That's your mirror reflecting your command. Neville explained it like this. Your outer world is the inner world made visible, which means that the repetition you see outside is proof of what you've declared inside. So when you see these synchronicities, don't brush them off. Don't say, that was just coincidence. Recognize it. That's the universe saying, I heard you. Here's your confirmation. Channel 2. Conversations. The universe often answers through the words of other people. You might overhear a stranger say the exact phrase you needed. A friend might call you and, without knowing your question, speak the answer directly. That's not random. That's the mirror at work. Your command set the stage, and now reality rearranges itself to deliver the words you needed. Neville once shared a story of a woman who asked for guidance about travel. The very next day, a stranger sat beside her on the bus and said out loud, Paris is the best place to visit right now. That was her answer. It came through another person, but it was her inner world pushing out. Channel 3. Intuition and nudges. Sometimes the answer doesn't come outside of you. It rises inside, as a sudden nudge, a whisper of intuition, a knowing that wasn't there before. Have you ever asked a question, then suddenly felt a pull to go a certain way, call a certain person, or take a certain step? That's the answer. It's immediate, but it's so subtle that most people dismiss it. They call it a random thought. But it isn't random, it's response. When you declare, nothing can resist my command, the subconscious delivers the answer instantly as an inner knowing. Channel 4. Dreams. Neville often said, the drama of life is a dream, and the dream is real. Dreams are one of the universe's favorite ways to answer. When your conscious mind is quiet, your subconscious paints the answer in symbols. You might dream of walking a new path, meeting someone, or receiving something in your hands. Pay attention. Dreams are not nonsense. They are coded messages from the infinite, delivering your answer in pictures. This is why Neville always taught persistence. Not persistence in begging, but persistence in recognition. Assume it is done, and then notice how life confirms it again and again until it hardens into fact. So here's what I want you to do. For the next 24 hours, After you've spoken the command, walk through your day with open eyes. Notice the patterns, notice the nudges, notice the timing, and instead of brushing it off, say to yourself, "That was my answer." Because the universe will answer you. It already has. The only question is whether you'll see it. Let me give you a challenge. Tonight, take one question. Get still. Speak the command. Nothing can resist my command. Then, for the next day, stay aware. Look at the clock. Listen to the words around you. Pay attention to the songs, the emails, the messages, the dreams. Within 24 hours, something will appear that is so precise, so undeniable, that you'll know you were heard. And when it happens, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Declare it. Write it in the comments so others can see the mirror at work. Because the more you recognize and declare it, the stronger your alignment becomes. Now, here's the transition. We've covered how to ask. We've covered how to recognize. But there's one more piece left. Because once you know the universe answers immediately, the question becomes, how do you live in that constant dialogue? How do you stop treating this as a one-time experiment and start living every day with the awareness that nothing can resist your command? That's what we'll cover in segment 5, the immediate response technique. I'll guide you step by step through a practice that makes this real, not just once, but over and over until it becomes your way of life. Because you're not meant to get one answer. You're meant to live in constant conversation with the universe. Up to this point, you've discovered the difference between begging and commanding. You've learned the phrase, "Nothing can resist my command," and you've seen how the universe answers. Through synchronicity, through words, through nudges, through dreams. But now, let's bring it all together into a single method you can practice today. A technique so sharp and so simple that once you do it, the universe has no choice but to respond. I call this the immediate response technique. It has 3 steps: ask, command, release. Step 1. Ask. Before you can receive an answer, you must know your question. The clearer your question, the clearer the response. So, take a pen and paper. Write down your question in one sentence. Not 5 questions, not 20, just one. For example, universe, show me if this path is right. Universe, confirm to me that wealth is already mine. Universe, reveal the next step I need to take. Be sharp, be simple. That's the first step. Step 2, command. This is where the power comes in. Instead of begging, you declare. You shift from uncertainty into authority. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Imagine yourself already holding the answer. Feel the calm certainty that it's done. And then speak the phrase, "Nothing can resist my command." Say it once with absolute conviction. Feel the vibration of it. When you say those words, you're not speaking as a beggar. You're speaking as the source. And if you want to intensify it, add a second layer. Declare the timing. Say, "Nothing can resist my command. The answer is mine today." Do you feel the weight of that? It's not a wish. It's a decree. It's law. And the universe has no choice but to reflect it. Step 3. Release. This is the part most people miss. After you've commanded, you don't chase the answer. You don't keep repeating. You don't check every 5 minutes. You release. Because once a decree is spoken, the mirror is already shifting. The only delay is in your recognition. So you walk through your day with calm expectation. You notice. You listen. You pay attention. And within 24 hours, the answer comes. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.